Hello, everybody, and thank you for stopping by. And I'd like to thank all my subscribers and all of my viewers. I really do appreciate you. Today, I would like to talk about something, and it's got to do with our utilities and how we can cut back so that we're not paying as much for our utilities. This was something I learned a long time ago because I struggled really hard. I've always been poor, I'm not rich now. But I do fairly okay for myself, but when I first got started off in life, I didn't do so fairly well. And I met a woman who kind of took me under her wings and taught me a whole lot, and this is something that she taught me. I'm not saying it's easy, and it may not be for everybody, but there are some people that really struggle and just wish they knew what to do. And this can be very helpful if you're at the point where you're always getting delinquent notices in your utilities because you just have a hard time coming up with the money. This will be helpful to you. And it was helpful for me. I learned that when I cut back on my utilities, it left me a little bit of money because, like she said, you're paying the utilities anyhow. So if you can cut back, you can now actually save yourself some real money by taking that and putting it into a little piggy bank and not spend it. And I was able to do that. And in doing that, I little by little dug myself out of a hole and had myself a little bit of a savings account to fall back on in hard times. Now, this is what I was taught. I'm just going to give you the information that was taught to me. And I worked. When it comes to your electricity, if you have a water heater that is electric, find out where the breaker is and shut it off. Only turn it back on, the breaker, when you're getting ready to take a shower. 10 minutes before you take a shower, or 15, was usually plenty enough for me to be able to take showers, all of us, and clean dishes. Now, if you're one that doesn't normally clean the dishes for breakfast before you go to work, there's no reason you can't wipe down your tables and counters and flip your switch back off and put your dishes in the sink until the evening till you get home. If you're a person who likes to take a shower at night before you go to bed and not in the morning, it's the same concept. Leave your water heater turned off until you're ready to take that evening shower, and leave it on a little bit so that you can also clean your dishes, breakfast and dinner dishes. If you have a gas water heater, that's what I have now. Now, before I had an electric, and that's how I did it with my electric water heater. Now I have a gas one. And what I do with my gas one, it's not turned on. It's only on pilot. In the wintertime, I only turn it on for just a few minutes if it's a real cold day. If not, that pilot is plenty hot enough, keeps my water hot enough to clean dishes and take showers in the summer. As a matter of fact, in the summer I have to use some cold water to cool it down because it's too hot. In the wintertime, there's days when the pilot is fine, but like I said, if it's not, I only turn it on for about 10 minutes and then I just turn it off and leave it only on pilot. I do not have a dryer, and I have never owned a dryer. I know a lot of you are saying, well, I couldn't live without a dryer. Yes, you can, because I did. Now, but this is your choice. I'm only telling you what works because I've done it, and it is up to us as individuals to make a decision whether we want to do it or not. But there's only one way to not pay a high electric bill, and that's not to use the electricity. And that's a sad fact, but it's the truth. We can only cut back our utilities if we don't use them. Like I said, I've never had a dryer. Dryers use an enormous amount of electricity, and some of them use gas, and some use both. I don't have a dryer. I have always hung my clothes out on a clothesline, even when I worked. And the fabrics that they're making today are absolutely wonderful. Back in the day, it was all pure blue jeans, and man, that was rough. But today, they're making nice, soft fabrics that do not have to be dried. They can be hung out on a clothesline beautifully. And even blue jeans can too if you take some extra care, hang them properly, make a little crease as you go down. And you'll find out you don't even need to iron. That saves a lot of money. Washing your clothes in cold water helps instead of hot. That saves on utilities. Washing in cold water, a lot of people think, oh no, that stains. And well, if you look it up and study it, you'll find out that hot water actually sets up stains in the soaps we have today. Hot water is not needed unless you have a family member that is sick. And then you might want to wash their clothes in a little hot water to help, with germs. But hey, we even got detergents coming out now that are supposedly germ killers too. So, I'm not so sure the hot water is even needed for that. Those are a couple of things. The dishwasher is another thing. Now, some people will say, well, dishwashers don't use any more water than washing by hand, but they still use electricity. And electricity is one of your usually higher bills when it comes to your utilities. And so, no dishwasher. Another thing, and you're not going to like this one, is that air conditioner you have. When I first moved to the area I live in, it was hot as heck. And I will admit, at first I thought I wasn't going to be able to handle it, but guess what? I was so poor I had no choice. I could not afford the hundreds of dollars they wanted for an air conditioner. I didn't have it. So I had to live without it. I learned to live with a fan. And guess what? By the time I could afford one, I never wanted it. I didn't need it. It didn't bother me to live without it. I still live without it. I have no air conditioner in my living room or my kitchen, and I cook on a daily basis. And the only thing I do, now, I'm older, and when you get old, things affect you more than when you're younger. I finally put a little air conditioner in my window, and it is only turned on at night when I go to bed, because I realized that I was having a really hard time sleeping at night, and I was not sleeping comfortably, and I was dragging all day long, and I realized it had to do with the heat at night, and the fan I had in the room was not enough. But I will tell you, many times I get up in the middle of the night and I turn my air conditioner off because I'm freezing. I'm literally freezing, and I have to turn it off. And so like 1 or 2 in the morning, I'm waking up and turning it off. If it get hot and I wake up, I just flip a fan on in the bedroom and that's it. So I'm only running it a couple of hours at night, and that is it. And I can tell you that I did not put that air conditioner in my bedroom window until this month. It finally got so hot at night, like I said, I found myself not being able to sleep, and I said, okay, it's time for me to put in the air conditioner. Other than that, I was just using a little window fan in my window, and it was perfectly fine and beautiful. But those are the ways you can save electricity. Those are the ways you can cut back where your electric bill is not so high. I know that it sounds difficult, but each one of us has to make choices in our life on what we want to do. And I know that doing that pulled me out of a hole. And I was able to save quite a bit a month, every single month, on how I cut back. And it left me a little cushion for those hard times. It helped me to be able to build so that I could have something for the difficult times by cutting back and making hard changes and hard choices. They weren't easy, but they did become easy after time, and now I actually live that way and it doesn't bother me at all. So I hope you find this helpful, and that's the people, I'm trying to reach people that maybe wish to be able to make changes and hoping to make changes but not sure how they can do it, so that they can cut back and have some money to put away for some hard times, because we all hit hard times. And that's one of those ways. And I would say to you that if you have a hard time saving money, even if you cut back, consider buying a little bit of silver. It makes it harder to spend because you just can't walk into the grocery store with the silver. Find a gold and silver exchange in your area and take your little extra money. If you are a spender who likes to spend money and you struggle saving, go in and take the $20, and it doesn't even cost $20 for an ounce of silver. but it will keep you from spending a lot of money. It will help, because when you're ready to spend money at some store, you don't have that $20. It's sitting in silver somewhere at your house. And even if you want to spend it, you're going to have to take it back to this gold and silver exchange and cash it out for cash. And that makes you have to wait and think twice before you actually spend that money. Because when you're looking at that little silver round, you see the importance. You know it was put there for saving for a rainy day. Makes it a little harder to spend it. So if you're a person that has a difficult time saving money, even if all you have is $20 left over, but you find yourself kind of piddling it away a little at a time, put it in some silver. I'm not one of these that's running around trying to get money from gold and silver exchanges. I just want to be able to help other people to save and be able to have a better life and a better enriched life. And that is one way to do it. It is a way to save and not spend money. I know people that have a very difficult time saving money, and I would advise that it's a very excellent way to do it. Well, I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you'll try some of the tips if you're one of those that are struggling. And may God bless you, and may you have a very blessed day.